Hare Krishna, all of you who are tuning in to this live broadcast from Sri Keshavji Gaudiya Math, Navadvip Dham, West Bengal, India, the topmost place in the universe. So, welcome to this Harikatha broadcast, which will go on from now until next Kartik. And we are discussing the various subject matters that we may discuss, many different books, many different topics, many different authors even. We have our Srila Prabhupada, we have our Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj's books, we have our Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj's books, and many others. Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, Gaur Govinda Maharaj, so many. So it's like a vast ocean. Not possible to actually do justice to it. But we are just very tiny little ants, like an ant. And our great acharyas are like huge elephants. So we cannot do anything great. Only they can do. But we can try to serve the great. And service to the great is to present to the best of our ability what they have given. So this is always the mood of a Gaudiya Vaishnava, is to be in the line of our acharyas and not to deviate from that line. If we can try to do that sincerely, then even if we are not fully capable, but at least we desire to be, then Krishna will always make some adjustment, some arrangement. Krishna will always help. That is the main principle in spiritual life. Do you know that? My most revered Siksha Guru, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he had many, many different amazing statements in English language that he would make. And you could take any one of them and you could put them on the wall as a slogan that you can just meditate on. So one of these was regarding the word sincerity. Sincerity. What is the word in Hindi for sincerity? To be a sincere person.
क्या बोलेंगे sincere को? Sincere.
That means you people must not be very sincere. If you don't even know the word for it. Okay. So, in Russian language, the word is искренне. Yes? Да?
Искренность.
Искренне.
Искренность.
Oh yeah. Искренность.
Искренность.
Искреннат. You're switching on me. Искреннат. Okay. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj told a very, very important teaching. Listen to this carefully as I speak this. Very carefully. And let it go deep within your mind and within your heart. It's only 3 words. 3 words. If you follow these 3 words, your spiritual life will be successful. Now listen. Sincerity is invincible. Sincerity is invincible.
Invincible? What's the meaning?
I'm going to tell. What is the meaning of invincible? When I was a young boy, growing up in America, they had one fictional person. You've all heard about him. Actually, he's a perverted reflection of Krishna. You know who that is? He has the similar color. A superpower person, superhero person. You know who that is? Superman! So when I was a boy, they used to have this program. Jai Madhukar Ji Ki Jai. Madhukar's return to Sri Navadvip Dhama Ki. So there was a television program, and I was a small boy, and we used to watch this television program. It was the first attempt to show a man flying in the sky. The original Superman. Madhukar's wondering, why is he talking about Superman? There is a purpose. So there, as the television program would begin, then they have the music soundtrack of Superman with very, very bold music. And it's talking about, a voice is telling you about Superman. And the voice is saying, Superman, he can leap tall buildings with a single bound. He can cause bullets to bounce off of him. Superman, he is invincible. There's the word. Now do you understand? Now do you understand the meaning of the word invincible? Yes or no? Da или нет? You understand? The word invincible. Still don't have the Russian variation of it?
Yeah, we like understand, but in our case, in our like Bada Jiva case, what means invincible?
That doesn't matter. I'm going to explain that. But if something cannot be harmed by anything, it cannot be affected by anything, that is called invincibility. That you are invincible. Are we invincible? Are we invincible? Some are saying yes, some are saying no. It depends what you think is the we. That's the point. What does Krishna say? In the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, when he's talking about the soul, the Atma. He's telling how the soul cannot be burned by fire.
Nainam Chandanti Shastrani.
Yes, Nainam Chandanti Shastrani. Nainam Dahati Pavaka.
Na Chanam Klediyanti
Apo. Yes. And the last line?
Achedyoya. This last line. Nashoshati Maruta. Achedyoyam, Adayoyam, Akledyoyam.
Yeah. Soul cannot be cut to pieces. You cannot cut it apart. The soul cannot be burned by fire. The soul cannot be moistened by water. The soul cannot be dried up by the wind. So, he's telling there that the soul is indestructible. That is our actual self. Now, this external clothing that we're wearing, called the material body, is extremely destructible. Okay. Extremely weak. So, our soul by nature is indestructible, and therefore it is invincible. No one can harm the soul. Only the soul himself can harm himself. You know how? By turning away from the Supreme Soul. If the soul wants to be separate and not to be the eternal servant of the Supreme Soul, then he is cast by the powerful Maya Shakti into the material existence, and he is given two bodies, gross body and subtle body. Now, you can do what you want, Krishna is saying. And therefore Krishna has 8,400,000 species of life for the soul to wander here, there, and experience. So that is a harm for the soul, in the sense that it causes us to suffer. Although the soul himself cannot be affected, but the connection between the soul and the temporary material body, gross and subtle, that's called the ahankar, that makes you feel pain and suffering, because you identify. So this cannot be artificially transcended. No. There is only one way, and that is to, again, return to our natural, normal position. That's all. How to do that? How to do that? How to return to our natural, normal position? Look at who's here. All the way from sunny California, or Florida, or wherever. Jai Chaitanya Das Prabhu ki.
Yeah.
You want a chair or you want to sit?
I'll explain that bed over there.
He's not joking. All right, so what am I talking about?
About the soul.
I'm talking about the soul, but what's the main topic that I started on here?
Invincible.
What?
Invincible.
What is invincible?
Sincerity.
Sincerity. Sincerity. Sincerity is invincible. Everyone say this. Sincerity. Everyone.
Sincerity
Is invincible. All together. Sincerity is invincible. One more time.
Sincerity is invincible.
What does that mean now? We should really, really deeply understand this teaching. And I can tell you, in my own spiritual journey, this one statement of 3 words made a very big difference. Yes. Very big. Because what is he telling here? He's telling what Krishna told. This 3 words, this line, is actually a, how do you say, modification of what Krishna told to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita.
The soul is at all.
No, you can keep guessing. Nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. Which chapter?
This is
6.
6.
And Arjuna is asking Krishna, what happens to a yogi?
Yeah.
What happens to a yogi who somehow or other becomes affected by worldly mindedness, and then he falls down does he just lose everything? All of his endeavor? Does he become like a cloud in the sky which breaks away from the other clouds and just disappears into the sky? Does he
Like
become-
that.
Huh?
It is like that, the position of a soul in the jiva who falls down.
Mhm.
So it will be like that, that one part of the cloud is when disappearing somewhere. It is like that.
Yes, and then it
It's
starts
like-
to just kind of
Yeah, nowhere.
disappear. So that's what Arjuna asked to Krishna. Does this person, because what you're telling me to do, Krishna, not an easy thing.
Yes.
You're telling me to follow this pathway of Ashtanga Yoga. And I think it's going to be almost impossible. And then he said, why is it almost impossible, oh Krishna? Because you're telling me to control the mind, to control it. But to control the mind, Arjuna said to Krishna, that's like asking me to control the blowing of the wind.
This is impossible.
Can anyone stop the wind from blowing? No. So what does Krishna answer to that statement of Arjuna? Yes, it's difficult. But it's possible. By doing two things. Constant practice. Constant practice. Constant practice. And the second thing? Detachment. Yes. Constant practice and detachment. So Krishna admits to Arjuna, yes, difficult. Of course, he's discussing the pathway of Ashtanga Yoga. But at the end of that discussion, toward the end of the chapter, then Krishna tells Arjuna, yes, it's best if you're a yogi, Arjuna. Because a yogi is much greater than a karmi, a fruitive worker, much greater than a jnani, much greater than a tapasvi. So Arjuna, I'm telling you, you should always be a yogi.
Yes.
You should be a yogi. But then Krishna says, there are different kinds of yogis.
Yeah.
And he says, Yoginam api sarvesha. Amongst all yogis, madgaten antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yuktotamo mataha. Yes, Arjuna. I'm telling you, you should be a yogi. But now I'm going to tell you what kind of yogi you should be. You know that the entire Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. And every chapter in the Sanskrit title of the chapter, it has the word yoga.
This yoga, that yoga.
It has the word yoga. What's the meaning of this Sanskrit word yoga? Or that some people call it yog, or some people call it jog. Like here in Bengal, they say jog, jogi. What's the meaning of this word? Yoga.
Connection.
Union.
To unite. But nowadays there are many yoga studios in all different countries. And they do not even tell you the actual meaning of the word yoga.
They don't know.
They also don't know, and you know how I know that they don't know? Because in China, like 15 years ago, we had to cross over the border into mainland China from Hong Kong, and then there was a devotee who was kind of like preaching through teaching yoga. Many of the Chinese people were interested in yoga. So they brought me to a yoga studio. We had to go undercover. We couldn't wear our in China. So they brought us to this studio, yoga studio. And then I was listening to the teacher and his students for a few minutes. And then I asked the teacher, can you tell me the meaning of the word yoga? And he said, yes, yoga means union. Then I asked him, if you have union, that means that you have two different things that will be united. You have two different things, otherwise how there can be a union? Okay? So, can you please explain what is being united through yoga? And they come up with different explanations. Sometimes they say, oh, the mind becomes connected with the body. Yeah, that's one of their explanations. You can see it in America. That's why they place so much emphasis on the body, because your body is not fully connected with your mind. So therefore, when your body and mind become connected, then your body can enjoy sense gratification so much more. Yeah. So therefore, come to our yoga class with you wearing your very tight, so that everyone can see your beautiful yogini body. All sense gratification. But the yoga that Krishna described to Arjuna, Ashtanga Yoga, it didn't involve yoga studios and yoga tights and any of these trappings, external trappings. What did it involve? It involved you alone going into a jungle, a forest, by yourself, on the bank of a river, then putting kusa grass down on the ground, then putting a deer skin. Why deer skin? Because insects will not go near to it.
Snakes.
And then a soft cloth. Huh?
It's snakes also, I heard.
Snakes, insects, yeah. Same family. Insects and snakes.
Oh.
Reptiles.
Okay.
So, and then what should you do, Arjuna? Now comes the hard part. Did Krishna tell Arjuna to stand on his head? Did Krishna tell Arjuna to do the Sarvangasan or the Halasan or the Bhujangasan or this asana or that asana?
No.
No. Why? Because you should already be practiced in that before you go to do the actual yoga. Asana, what is it? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So this is the beginning. But the real beginning is what? To sit down on that cloth with your mind completely focused and with complete detachment from everything. And now focus that mind completely on what? Through the breathing exercises of pranayama, then one focuses in different external exercises, like even looking at the tip of your nose. Krishna mentions that. And completely sitting completely still. And practically coming to a point in your pranayama where you stop breathing. And who and what are you thinking of? What is your aim and your objective? Krishna says, me. To meditate upon me within the heart. And that's it. There is nothing else that Krishna mentions in that regard, except that the yogi must do this consistently for a very, very long time. How many people can do this in the Kali Yuga? We have a yogi here. How many people can do this in the Kali Yuga? Can you go to the bank of the Ganga in a jungle area and put the cloth down and sit there 24 hours a day doing this? I'm answering for you. I know you. I'm not. Krishna didn't say do it for 1 or 2 hours and then go and do what you like. No, that's all you do. So no one can do Ashtanga Yoga because Arjuna was in Dwapara Yuga and much more powerful than any human being in the Kali Yuga. We are like little tiny insects in comparison to Arjuna. And Arjuna said, Krishna, this sounds very difficult. I don't think that I'm going to be able to do this. So, yoga. At the end of the 6th chapter, now Krishna tells to Arjuna, there are different types of yogis. Okay? But of all the different types of yogis, I'm going to tell you, Arjuna, which yogi I consider him to be the topmost of all of them. So he says, first of all, that person who is Madgata. Madgata Antaratmana. He is intimately united with me in yoga. Intimately united with me. Shradhavan bhajate yomam. Bhajate. You've heard this word. We all like this word a lot. Bhajan. Bhajate. Because it means to worship. And Krishna says, Shradhavan. With faith. Worshipping me. Bhajate yo mam. So, Madgata Antaratmana. Internally, he is completely united with me in complete absorption and meditation in me. And Same Yuktatamo. It is my opinion, Arjuna, that this person is Yuktatama. This means superlative. This means the number one best. Not better than this or better than that. No, he's the best. Why? Because Yuktatama. He's completely yukta. The word yoga comes from the word yukta, which means to connect. He is most intimately connected with me in yoga. And he is the highest of all. Yes, yuktatama. So, then after that, Krishna begins the next middle 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. And what is he talking about? That yogi. How to become that yogi? How can you become that yogi, Arjuna? So you're not capable to do this sitting down in a jungle place and doing that yoga. You're not capable. But now I'm going to tell you what yoga you're capable to do. And what yoga everyone can do. And this is what I just told you at the end of that chapter. You have to learn how to develop your love and your devotion for me. That's called what kind of yoga? Bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga. It's also called Buddhi yoga. There's some difference. Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj says Buddhi yoga in some ways is higher than Bhakti yoga. Yes, in the sense that it is more specific. Anyway, that's a different subject. So, now, in the performance, in our attempt, in this very rare, fortunate human form of life, very short, one of our godbrothers just left his body. We weren't thinking that a month ago, 2 months ago. He's only 70 years old. No one was thinking Neither he was thinking that he'll leave his body. But Krishna had a plan. And therefore he left in Mayapur Dham, hearing kirtan and being completely prepared by Krishna. So certainly his destination was extremely auspicious. We cannot know. He's continuing. So, but we do not know when our life will end. Do you know? Have you been informed by anybody? Like how long you're going to live? What about your astrologer? Did your astrologer tell you how long you're going to live? No, astrologers cannot, especially in Kali Yuga, very imperfect. Not only that, but for a devotee, astrologers cannot really predict everything. Did you know that? Astrologers cannot really predict everything for a devotee. Why? Do you know why?
Because Krishna can change anything at any moment.
Very good answer. There's a story Srila Bhaktivigyan Bharati Maharaj told about two devotees who came to the Gaudiya Math. I forget their names actually. It's one of the great disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. So, but before they came, they were consulting an astrologer, or in the process of moving into the Math. And maybe they even moved in already. Okay, so the astrologer told both of them, you will be married. You will go through married life in your life. And one of those persons had been told by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati he wanted to give him sannyas. Huh? Was that Jajavar Maharaj? Okay. You read that in the Srila Bharati Maharaj book?
Yeah.
Okay. So, at any rate, he had very strong faith in Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he was also told that Krishna can do anything. So you should just surrender to what Guru is telling you, and that's all. So what happened? Do you know what happened?
Nothing.
He took sannyas. And he lived his life. And later on, as a sannyasi, in the Math, that astrologer one day came again. And he saw him. And he was telling, oh yes, I remember, I told you that you need to become householder. Then he said, let me see your hand, your palm, because it was by the palm that he was initially making his calculation, okay?
It was changed.
He looked at the palm and he says, oh my God. In Bengali, hey Bhagavan. I have heard this many times, that for the devotee, even Krishna can change their palm lines. And now I'm seeing it for a fact. Okay? You understand? He was meant by what? His ordinary karma. But Krishna has his plan. And we will always be victorious if we follow the instruction of Sri Guru. Because the instruction of Guru is the instruction of Krishna for us. Yes. If we deviate from that, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye bhakti. Bye-bye bhakti. You cannot have bhakti without following Guru. Impossible. Impossible. So, now we come to our main topic. 3 words. What are those 3 words? Sincerity is invincible. This is very hopeful. These 3 words are full of so much hope. Yes. Asha. Great, great hope is there in these 3 words. And this is I was telling you, but then I kind of went into the 6th chapter more extensively, but the verse in the 6th chapter, when Arjuna told Krishna that I think what happens to a yogi if he falls down, then he loses everything. He gave up his material enjoyment life, and then he practiced this, and now he's giving this up, so what happens? And then Krishna told, don't worry, Arjuna. Suchinam Shimatam Gehe Yogo Brashta Avijayate. He will take birth in 2 different types of situations, depending on how much deep he went in his surrender to Krishna in his life. But even someone who just for a short time, what will happen? Srimatam. Srimatam means wealthy family. Wealthy family. So he'll take birth in wealthy family. But Suchinam, very high transcendentalist family. Vaishnavas, Brahmana Vaishnavas even. And very auspicious location. And what does Krishna say? He will naturally become attracted. Because of his practice of the previous life, he has this samskara. He has this impression from the previous life. And naturally he'll become attracted to the pathway of yoga again. Okay? And then he'll take that up, and then he'll continue his practice from where he left off. And gradually he will attain perfection. So then Krishna told Arjuna, Arjuna, did you know that sincerity is invincible? Krishna said those words. But Krishna qualified it. Nahi kalyana krit kaschid durgatim tata gachati. He says, a person who is a sincere person. He's sincere. Now what does Krishna use for the word sincere? Kalyana krit. Kalyana krit. You know what the meaning of kalyana? Come on. Gurudev used to say it again and again all the time. Kalyana bhavatu, kalyana bhavatu, kalyana bhavatu. What? Means what?
Blessings.
What's blessings? No. Kalyana. What does kalyana mean? Ashirvad, that means blessing. But kalyana, what does it mean? That everything will be auspicious for you. Auspicious kalyana. All good for you. The sadhu will never tell you, ever, to do something that will be bad for you. Never. Never. You may think, oh, he's telling me something that's too much bad for me. No. Everything that sadhu tells, everything that guru tells, everything that shastra tells is kalyana.
Auspicious.
It is auspicious for you. What does auspicious actually mean? The English word auspicious. And blaga priyatna. Yes, blaga priyatna in Russian language. Da? Blaga priyatna. So what does the word mean? It means that everything good will come to you. Good. That's what we want, isn't it? If we come to sadhu and we say, oh, bless me, oh sadhu. Give me your blessings. I need your blessings. But 99% of the people who are asking for the blessings, what is in their mind? Bless me so that I don't want just I want blessings to get something. And what is that thing they want to get? It's bad for them.
Yes.
Bless me so that my children have good life. Bless me so that money comes to my family. Bless me so that
My husband will love me.
my parents will live longer. Bless me, bless me, bless me, bless me. But all material. All having to do with this body. This body, which is going to drop to the ground and become one of three things. We were talking about that at the cremation of our god brother. I was reminding my few friends who were there. You remember what Prabhupada said? You remember what Prabhupada told about the destination of this material body? What will be the destination of this material body? Inevitably, it cannot but be. It will become one of three things. It will transform this body. After the soul leaves, the body will transform into one of three different things. Now, you please tell me, all of you super intelligent devotees in this room, what will the body become?
5 elements. 5.
It will, I think it will
Wrong. Not correct.
get born, or the worms will eat it.
It will what?
It will get born, or worms will eat it. Worms will eat it when we are putting it in.
Oh yeah, okay. So he has guessed the first thing that will happen. If the body just is buried in the ground,
And our dogs and
then what will happen with the body buried in the ground? Worms will come.
Yeah.
Worms, insects, and they'll eat the body. Or if the body is just like dies and it's lying there, what will happen? From the air, the birds will come down,
Yes.
other wild animals will come, and they'll eat the body up.
Yes.
They'll eat it up. And then what will the body become after they eat it? Stool of that creature. So that's the first thing that happens to your beautiful material body. Guru Prabhupada, I always remember he was talking about, yes, you are taking your bath and soaping yourself so nicely.
Yeah.
Soaping you. Huh? But you do not know that your body will become stool of an animal.
Yes.
This beautiful body will become stool of an animal. What's the second thing? You can't think? What does the body become? Come on. Here in India, most people, they like to be what? That their body will be what? When they die, what will happen to their body? In India, most people...
Ashes, yeah.
What?
They
Burn the body. They burn the body. So then what does the body become when they burn the body?
Ashes.
Ashes, thank you. That's the second thing your beautiful body will become. Ashes. Even the bones, they will be completely burned into ashes. And you know what I learned? I learned the other day something I never ever heard of. Who told me that? I'm not remembering right now. There's one part that does not get burned. Do you know? No, the body. Not Atma. I'm talking about the body.
There is some bone which cannot.
There's some what?
One bone which doesn't.
Ball.
Bone.
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 Yes.
Okay, which bone?
I don't know. I just have like.
Well, I found out the other day. I never knew this before.
Oh.
Any cremation place, when the body is completely burned, there's one part that doesn't burn. Do you know what that is?
Padmanabha.
Your navel.
Never.
The navel?
Yes. What's behind it? That navel. What's behind it? Maybe it was Ram Shraddha, I think. He told me that the other day. And he said, you can go to different cremation grounds where there's one right here in Navadvip, right next to the Ganga. And he said, you'll find these little things floating. And it has some like little tendons or something connected, but it doesn't burn. I never knew that before. Yeah. The Nabha.
Padmanabha.
Yeah. Yes. So,
But it's a bone, or what is this?
I don't know exactly what it is. I was asking, what is it? But at any rate, it doesn't burn.
In Hindi they said Atmaram. I don't know. Like
Atmaram.
Atmaram.
Okay, the Hindi is...
Yeah.
Okay, we guessed two things.
Third.
Stool of an animal, ashes, and what's the third one?
They just put in the Ganges or any river, like body in the.
No, it becomes eaten by the fish and everything. It becomes also stool. What else? Earth.
Warm.
The earth element. It merges, it decomposes and merges into the earth. So it will become ashes, stool, or earth.
Yes.
Okay? Yes. So, this is the destination of our material body. Will the subtle body be burnt? No. Guess what? You know how long your dear friend has been with you? You means the Atma. You know how long your dear friend has been with you? You know which friend that we're talking about? The mind. Your dear friend, the mind. Your brother, mind. You know how long this subtle body made of mana, buddhi, ahankara has been with you, the Atma? Do you know? What? Yeah, exactly. It's the same exact elements. The subtle body. It's the same subtle body. Life after life after life for billions and billions of lives, however long you are in the material world, it's the same subtle body. Even if you go to Yamaraj and Yamaraj punishes you on the subtle body level, it's the same body. And then again, that subtle body goes into some womb of some species of life, and again comes out with a gross body. But we have had this with us since time immemorial. Okay? So, that gross and subtle body is not ourself, but we think it is. That's our biggest mistake. Now, when we understand, through hearing from sadhus, gurus, shastra, from hearing and associating, then we begin to wake up. We begin to awaken. That's what Mahaprabhu wants to happen to us. He's calling us, Jeev Jana, Jeev Jana, Jeev Jana. Wake up, Jeev. Wake up, sleeping soul. So when we begin to wake up, then by the mercy of Sri Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, by their mercy, we now understand, I'm not this body, I am the soul. I've been suffering for millions of lifetimes, going from one body to another. It's now time to surrender to Krishna. It's now time to surrender. And I'm going to use this whole human birth to do that. I'm going to try my level best. Sincerely. Here's that word, sincerity. I'm going to try. I may not succeed, but I'll keep trying. Whatever obstacle comes along the way, I will try to continue moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. And you know what? There will be many obstacles, and there will also be many tests, especially from that old dear friend, brother mind. Yeah, that's the real problem. Okay? Because mind is telling to you, oh, you know, this is too difficult. But you were so much more happy happy when you are not trying to go on this pathway. This is so difficult. Now you should just surrender to me, and I'll give you the advice that will make you happy. And this happiness will be so nice that maybe you can even go to the heavenly planets and live there for millions of years. But what does the devotee tell to the brother mind? Huh? Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna that you have to learn how to control your mind. And then he says that if you don't, your mind will become your greatest enemy. But if you can control your mind can become your friend. Your friend. So the devotee talks to the mind, as we have learned from who? One of our greatest acharyas. The acharya who we all want to follow in his footsteps. Who is that? Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, in his book, Mana Siksha. And he is told there, my dear brother mind, don't do this. Don't try to enjoy these temporary so-called pleasure of this world. Because all that will happen is you will be burning in anxiety and suffering, and then you'll be burning me also. I'm a small little Atma, and you're going to burn me. Don't do this. What should you do? You should just worship Radha and Krishna in Braj. Worship Radha and Krishna in Braj. And my dear mind, don't be attracted to all of this temporary things of this world. They have cheated you repeatedly, life after life. They've given you so many promises, but they've cheated you, and you've ended up in a miserable condition again and again and again. So now, my dear mind, I'm asking you, because you're my brother. Why are you my brother? Because brothers have the same mother.
Yes.
Right? And so our mind and our body, our subtle body came through the womb of our mother.
Yes.
Okay? Although the subtle body is already there, but it becomes modified in the womb. So now you can become a human being instead of a dog.
Yes.
If you're in the womb of a dog mother, then you have to come out, but your subtle body will be modified to be able to bark and to be able to do so many things. But we are brothers. Our mind and our Atma, our self, are brothers. So therefore he tells, my dear brother mind. He says, Guror goste gostalaishu sujane bhushurgane swamantre shri namni brajanava yuva dvanva sharane. Sadadambam hitva kururatim apurvam atitaram aye swantar bratak chaturbir aviyache drita pada. I'm holding your feet. Raghunath Das Goswami is telling his mind, drita pada, I'm holding onto your feet. And I'm begging you, my dear brother, mind, don't be prideful. Give up all pride. Why? Because pride is false.
Yes.
It's always false. It has nothing to do with you. What's your real identity, your real position? Is that you're a low, fallen, suffering jiva in this world. It doesn't matter whether you became Bill Gates in a human body, or you became some movie star, or this or that. No. All of that is complete cheating. You've been cheated continually. It's not fact. So, sada dambam hitva. It's very important in spiritual life to give up damba. Damba means pride, arrogance, conceit. Give this up. And do what? My mind, I'm going to request you. I want you to develop apurva rati. Apurva rati. That means unprecedented attraction and attachment. Rati. This is what we want. We want rati. We want love. We want affection. We want rati. And so therefore, first verse, Raghunath Das Goswami telling my dear mind, I want that you will develop unprecedented rati. For who? Guru o goste gostalaishu sujane bushuragane Swamantre Sri Namni Brajanava Yuvadvanva Sharane. First, Guru. Guru Goshte. Develop rati for Guru. Without that, without this complete affection and attachment to Sri Guru, no one can achieve success. So, and we don't only have one Guru. There are many Gurus. Our whole Guru Parampara, other great Vaishnavas, Siksha Gurus like this. So, Guru Goshte. Goshta means those who are the residents of Brajadam. That means Krishna's associates.
Isn't Goshta Braj and then Goshta?
Oh, so yeah, Goshte, Gostala Isha. Yes, Gostala Isha. Goshta means Braj. Goshta. Goshta means Braj. Shri Gorahari Sahi Goshta Bihari. But Goshta in that connection also means what? Huh? No. Sahi Goshta Bihari.
Braj Bihari.
Yes, that he is doing his pastimes in Braj. In that song, it's about Krishna, but Mahaprabhu also, we understand. So, Guru Goshte, we have to develop affection for Braja. And Navadvip is non-different than Braja. So, we have to become very attached. Not to our place of birth, not to where our relatives live, not to any other mundane place in this world, whether it's Hawaii with the beautiful ocean, or the mountain tops of California, or the desert areas. None of that. We should be attached to only one place, Goshta. Also, that means the bhaum, what's the word? There are three perceptions of the Dham. And one perception, I'm forgetting the Sanskrit term. Huh? What? Yes. Yeah. Drishtavan. Yes. So, Drishyaman. Drishyaman Prakash. So that means what you can readily see with your eyes, you can perceive. Okay? You cannot perceive the true Dham until you are pure devotee of Krishna. That will not be revealed to you. But you can get little glimpses of that. And you can develop attachment to Drishyaman Prakash, how this Dham is manifested on the earthly plane. And also, Krishna's associates are still here in the form of Giriraj Govardhan, Yamuna Devi, and so many pastime places. Our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj, was the emperor, was the chief personality to try to invite the entire world to come to Braj and perform Braj Mandala Parikrama every year. Yes, and bathe in the nectar of the highest activities of Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, and Mathura Vasha, and worshipping Thakurji. The whole Braj Mandala, Gurudev, that was one of his innumerable contributions to the whole world. How he emphasized this, and it's all throughout his books. So, develop attachment for the Dham. Vrajadam. Guru Goshte Goshtalaishu. Now, is it enough to just be attached to the Dham? No. Who lives in the Dham? Who lives in the Dham? Goshtalaishu. Who are they? Who are the Gostalaya? Who are the Gostalaya? Yes. The eternal associates of Krishna who live in Braj. But who else? Personalities who are following in the pathway of the 6 Goswamis who are descended from Goloka. The Uttam Mahabhagwat, Rasik Vaishnavas. They live in the Dham. So, Guru Goshte Gostalaishu Sujane Bhushuragane. 2 more categories of persons who live in the Dham, but they live more in the Drishyaman Prakash Dham. And who are they? Sujan. Sujan means those who have attained higher position in Madhyam Adhikar, and they may be from any sampradaya, Gurudev is explaining. We should have some affection. We have to have affection for them. And then the 3rd category, Bhushuragane. Bhushuragan means those who are lords of Bhu Devi, the earth. Lords of the earth. Bhushuragane. Now who are they? The Brahmanas and the personalities who have taken birth, and they are performing the service of looking after the holy places in the Dham. We should also have affection and respect for them. This is all proportionate. Now, next line. Swamantre. Swamantra. What is Swamantra? This means your mantra, Swa. That means your own mantra. That is given by who? By Sri Guru. When you receive Diksha, then he gives you mantras which you must chant every day. And here, Raghunath Das Goswami is saying you should have rati for those mantras. Not external. You should have affection and rati. Because why? Those mantras are your Ishtadevas in the form of mantra. Your Ishtadeva is given to you in the form of mantra. Now by chanting those mantras, you will develop more and more attachment for your Ishtadeva and more surrender and submission to your Ishtadevas. Guru mantra, Gaur mantra, Gopal mantra, Kam Gayatri mantra, like this. So in this way, Swamantre, and then comes what? Sri Namni. Sri Namni is referring to what? Harinam. Harinam, which has been given by Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, have given Harinam to the Jivas in the Kali Yuga. And that Harinam especially takes the form of what? The Maha Mantra. What? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We want rati for Harinam. How will you develop? Not by leaving your japamala sitting, no. By taking that japamala, paying your obeisances, sitting with great feelings of sadness, transcendental sadness in your heart. I am so fallen. I have no attraction for you, Harinam. Mahaprabhu told us how to chant in the Sikh Shastakam. Nam Namakadi Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etadrishi Tavakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idrisamihajani Nanuragaha. Hear the word anurag. Anurag also means attachment. Like the gopis have for Krishna, like the Brijbasis have for Krishna, they have anurag. So much deep attachment. So Mahaprabhu is teaching us to begin the process of chanting Harinam. We should always be in a state of lamentation. Oh Harinam, I am so wretched. I am so fallen. I am so worthless. I am worse. I am lower than the blade of grass in the street, the straw in the street. But now, I am understanding that even though you're so merciful, I'm not appreciating your mercy. I'm not developing attachment to you, so please, please, enter my heart. Give me some attachment. Give me attraction to you, so that I will always want to be chanting your holy names 24 hours a day. This is my desire. And the next verse tells us the formula. You won't be able to do that unless then you follow the third sloka, which is what? Trinadapi suvichen tadadapi sahishna amanina manadena kirtani sada hari. Sada kirtan hari. Always chanting the names of Hari. You cannot do Sada Kirtan until you follow this formula. And that means you should not desire any respect for yourself at all. From anyone, from any situation, zero. Zero. Amanina. I don't want. Why? Because who am I actually? I'm nothing. And I want someone to respect me and to glorify me? No. If we want that, we can never become pure devotees. Never. And we also have to learn how to give proper respect according to the level of every living entity. That includes the lower species of life, the dogs, and so forth. Here in the Dham, it's a little bit easier to do that because we understand that these dogs are Dhamvasi dogs. They're not ordinary dogs. All the living entities in the Dham, they're not ordinary jivas. Some special jivas. But all jivas and all human jivas have a certain amount of respect that should be given accordingly to their position. Even the pure devotees will give respect to ordinary mundane people, but external respect, not internal. Because internally, they understand all the jivas. They're all the same. They're just fallen souls who've forgotten Krishna in this material world. So they give respect to all jivas according to their level, and that especially means Vaishnavas according to their level. If we do not learn the 5th slok of Upadeshamrita, where Rupa Goswami is describing how to respect the different levels of Vaishnavas, how to properly respect them, then we will never become pure devotees. Without giving proper respect to all Vaishnavas according to their level, then some offense will be committed, and that will hold us back. It will always hold us back from advancing. So, in conclusion, what does this mean? That sincerity is invincible? This means that if you are trying to be a sincere devotee, really, only you and Krishna knows this, and Guru also knows who is sincere, who is lacking sincerity. Guru can also see. You cannot cheat Guru. You cannot fool the Guru. Are you actually sincere? Are you actually becoming humble? Are you actually following the process like this? So, if a person is very humble and sincere, oh Krishna, I want that I can properly follow this path of Bhakti Yoga, and I can attain you at the end of this life. I can attain success of my human form of life. And even if I have to live many lifetimes in this world, Janmani Janmanishvari Bhavatat Bhakti Rahaitu Kitwaya, I want only one thing. Only one thing I want. Nadhanam, I don't want wealth. Najanam, I don't want followers. Nadanam Najanam Nasundari Kavitam, I don't want to enjoy beautiful women. I don't want to go to heavenly planets. I don't want any of that. I only want one thing I must have. Even I don't want liberation. If you want me to stay here for many lifetimes, I will accept that. But I cannot negotiate. I must have one thing. Ahoituki bhakti. Causeless, pure devotional service to you, my Lord. And then I will be completely satisfied and happy. Okay? So we have to become like this. If we are trying, even in the beginning stages, and we see, oh, I have so many anarthas. I have so many anarthas. My mind is very bad, and I always have so many anarthas, and I do so many things that are wrong. But I realize this. I want to improve. I want to improve. Every day of my spiritual life, I want to improve. How will that be possible? If I can sincerely surrender, then my superiors will give me blessings, and they will enable me to advance in my bhakti. Otherwise, on my own, what can I do? Some people think that if they sit and they chant 64 rounds, that alone is going to give them, but they don't surrender to Guru.
Nothing is going to happen.
They will not get. They will not get. You get some sukriti, but mostly it will be aparad, namaparad. You see. So we want to be successful, and if we are kalyanakrit, if we really want to attain the greatest thing for our very, very own self, our soul, our very atma, that means to have our eternal relationship with Krishna. That's the only thing that we should want in this material world. That I have the human body, now I can do bhakti, and now I can revive my eternal relationship with Krishna forever and ever and ever. And if we are sincere, despite our shortcomings, guess what? That sincerity is invincible. That sincerity is the principle through which Krishna will see, oh, he's sincere. Let me help him. Guru will see. That cannot be defeated by anything, by any situation in life. Sincerity is invincible.
That means, Maharaj, nothing could stop a sincere devotee.
Nothing can stop the sincere devotee from trying to proceed forward. Okay? Yes, obstacles will come, and they will try to stop. Even at some point in the devotee's journey, even the demigods will try to stop. Because they'll say, oh, he's advancing too quickly. Oh, we have to send a nice yogini and draw him away so that he falls away, so that he doesn't succeed. Okay? Like that. Alright, so that's our first class. Maybe, I think I'll do Manasiksha book. I didn't decide that, but look what happened. Krishna made it happen. Yes. You like Manasiksha?
Yes.
Should we do Manasiksha?
Yes.
I only see half of it.
Maharaj, in this conclusion we can say that what Krishna is saying in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Devi Yesha Guname Mama Maya Dratya Mam Evaya Prapadyanti Maya Metam.
Absolutely.
That is the sincerity is invincible.
That's right. You understand what he said? He's talking about the verse from the Bhagavad Gita, which is where Krishna is telling, Daivihesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya. My Maya, made of the three modes of nature, is Duratyaya.
Yes.
No one can cross. No one can cross beyond my Maya. But Mam Eva Ye Prapadyante, if someone does prapadya to me, then Maya Metam Tarantite, he can easily cross. That's the success formula.
That means only a sincere devotee can do this.
Yes, only a sincere devotee can surrender, because those two words go together. There is no such thing as an insincere surrendered devotee. Because they don't go together. Sincerity is there in a devotee who is surrendered. And the more surrendered that a devotee is, the more sincere that devotee is. You know who the most sincere personality is in the whole entire creation? Srimati Radhika.
Yes.
No one is more sincere, and no one is more surrendered, and no one loves Krishna more than her. So we should try to become the servant of 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 Srimati Radhika. Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol. Jai Gurudev. Jai Bhaktivedanta Padmanabha ki jai.
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. All glory to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Premanande. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Radha Vinod Bihari Jiyo Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Dhamma Ki Jai Shri Gurudeva Ki Jai Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai Sachinandan Gaurari Ki Jai Shri Nityananda Mahajana Ki Jai Shri Panchatattva Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Gaur Premanande Jai Tulsidev Bhai Priya Ekeshwara Krishna Ansha Kalpajurvascha Kripa Sindhu Mahaprasadam Ki Jai.